WWE Championship.
Shoot. Well, I was trying to get the theme music going, but it's giving me a hard time, Jer. Bear with me, please. Wouldn't be us if excuse me, we didn't have some oh my goodness. Well, I'm sorry for the start of the show today, guys. Holy cow.
Wait, what?
I
was asleep.
I'm trying. I'm sneezing.
I was sleeping.
There we go.
Doesn't matter. I was taking a nap because I've been up since 1 a.m.
Hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 alongside my tag team partner in podcasting, the Queen, Jerry Valeria. Good morning, Jer.
Hey, baby, don't beat yourself up. We may have botched the beginning of the podcast, but we didn't botch the ending of WrestleMania 35.
So, I haven't checked my news sites this morning. In fact, I meant to, and I forgot. I was so busy this morning. Is that what happened? Because that's the impression I got.
There are reports, and I don't know how credible they all are, but like 411, Wrestle Talk, a bunch of places are talking about the original plan was for Becky to tap out Charlotte. And Ronda didn't get her shoulders up in time. The ref went through with the count. Maybe Becky didn't let go of her hold.
I thought Ronda was not pinned, if you want my honest opinion.
Well, they're putting a lot of the blame on the ref and some of the blame on Becky, because they say Becky may have had her pinned down a little too much.
If you want my honest opinion, the ref made a bad call, but I thought Ronda, like right around the 2 counts, Ronda was up, maybe even around that 1 count. I don't know why he kept counting, but so is that what it's looking like? Does it looking like it was a problem?
But Ronda was never supposed to be the one that lost the match, and Ronda was supposed to be the one that got pinned, and that's why it looked confusing. It was kind of anticlimactic.
Right. It really affected. That's why we can't put in the main event. Come on. I'm kidding, but I'm not.
He's kidding. Listen, I was so burnt out. Like, I was so happy for Becky. It's so sad that it ended with like a weird ending, but also I was relieved that it was over. Like, I'm glad that it happened, because when was the real ending supposed to happen? 10 minutes later? I can't. I don't have time. And that's what that match suffered from, because all the pomp and all the circumstance of that match, I was like, can we just get to it? It's 12:05 and Charlotte's just getting here in a helicopter. Holy smokes. I need her to be in the arena already.
I'm assuming, or maybe you don't. That's a throwback to the way her dad entered, I think, at a Starrcade.
I know it is, okay. And I don't care. I'm still like, it's too late for this.
It was. Listen.
And you've got Joan Jett. I'm like, too late for this. We definitely didn't need a 7-second dance break. Like at 11:50, I'm like, we don't need any of this anymore. I was hoping they were going to cut the Lashley Finn Balor match.
So it's like, they say they're listening to us, and in some ways they have been. Like, I was hearing that, and I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but originally WrestleMania was supposed to be Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. Is that news to you or not?
That is not news to me. They definitely listened with the Kofi Kingston thing, and man, that was a magical moment.
Same with Ronda and Charlotte. It was supposed to be just the 2 of them, and now it was a 3-way with Becky. Like, they're listening, and that's cool. Please hear us when we tell you these. I was going to say these shows are too long, but I'll just say WrestleMania is way too long.
It's too long.
It's too long.
And the crowd suffered for it. The crowd suffers.
I was actually going to kind of disagree with you there, although not entirely. My thought was the crowd was hot all night.
They really were, but they weren't as hot at the end as they could have been.
There you go. That I can agree with you on.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm telling you what, if you had at the end the same energy you had in the first 2.5 hours of the main show, okay? I mean, like, you've got the kickoff show for whatever, and we can get into that. But, I mean, the minute that Alexa Bliss kicks it off, snaps her finger, and Hogan comes out, that crowd was on fire for the next 2.5 hours. And the show, to be fair, was on fire for the next 2.5 hours.
Also, I want to make it an assertion or a confession, I guess. I've realized over the past few weeks, maybe the last few pay-per-views or so, that a hot crowd will make me enjoy a show more.
It will, and a bad crowd will make me hate it. What chance? Or when Pittsburgh was doing the countdown during the Iron Man match, like they'll ruin a pay-per-view. They could ruin one.
And you're right. The show started off hot, and to me, it kind of stayed hot for a little while. Do you want to start with overall opinions?
Sure. I have no problem saying that I really, really, really enjoyed WrestleMania, and I think that it's not coincidence that the matches that I was meh on and the moments that I was blah on were the Raw moments. And SmackDown really did an awesome job on keeping me interested. And to Raw's credit, the opening match was fabulous. I loved Raw. I loved WrestleMania. It was great. I would give it an A, but it was far too long. And I was dying. It ended at 12:35 Eastern time. I needed to go to bed, and
that was still
done.
early.
Yeah, and I was done. Yeah. I was done before Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley. Like, I didn't want to see that. I mean, we'll get into the Cena Doctor of Thugonomics. I give it a B. I give it a B. Happily, I give it a B. I'd give it an A if it weren't 7 hours and 40 minutes long.
Well, would you look at this? We agree on a letter grade.
How about that? This is the second one this year.
My goodness. I was going to say I can go as low as a B or as high as a B plus, and I can knuckle bump you right there with a B if you want to.
There it is. Let's get the knuckles in there. Now, I'll say this, pal. I'm wondering, are you the same with me? If you trim some of the fat.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking 3 hours of the fat. It's an A, right?
Dude,
it's an A.
I could even tolerate like a ridiculous amount of time, like 5 hours.
Sure.
Like, okay. And like, listen, for us, this is Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm like even kind of cool with like giving you my day, WWE. Like, I'm kind of cool with that.
I am too.
It's just so exhausting. They got to realize they're doing themselves no favors with this.
They're doing themselves no favors. Even the Super Bowl's over at 10:30.
Midnight, I mean, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 1 a.m. That means if you're going to go in the history books, WrestleMania 35 was April 7th through the 8th. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it almost got to midnight your time, and I thought it could. I was like, if we get to 1 o'clock, if we get to midnight in Evansville, unreal.
It's unreal. It's too long. You don't need that 2 hour pre-show. You know, it's just absurd. You know, and so we seem to have similar grades and similar takes on the show. B is not a bad grade, I don't think. And you're right. At that first half, I was hovering around an A-, but the longer the show kept going, it kept pulling it down a bit.
Right. Well, like the Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre's and the Bobby Lashley's and the Finn Balor's, while it was serviceable and it was what it was still just, you know, it just kind of sat there for me. And I thought Triple H and Batista, there was a lot in that match that I really loved. I thought that match in itself went too long to accomplish what it accomplished, but whatever, you know. And I also thought Shane and Miz went a little long. You could have cut about 5 minutes of just stupid punches out of that before they get to the meat of it. Like, there was a lot before Miz Dad comes in the ring that they could have cut out.
Sure.
And jumped right to that.
My thing is, just don't have so many matches, pal.
I mean, there were a lot of matches.
To me, it's like the tag team stuff we could have done without. Like, I didn't need a women's tag match. I didn't need a Raw tag match. That was the pre-show. Didn't really need the SmackDown tag match. You know, it's just like, I actually thought that match lengths weren't that bad. It was just too many matches. I thought the show was paced nicely in that I didn't get too terribly bored in any one match specifically.
I thought Joe and Rey Mysterio, why even bother putting that on the card?
Well, at least they kept it short.
But why even bother?
Yeah, no, I agree.
That would have saved us 6 minutes.
Well,
I thought Elias went too long. We didn't need all of the Elias stuff to get to the Doctor of Thugonomics, which I loved.
Oh man, I'm glad that we're not disagreeing on that, because I love that too. I was a huge mark for the Doctor of Thugonomics.
I Loved it. And I didn't. Did you know? I didn't. When they were doing the Babe Ruth thing, I didn't know who was coming out.
The longer that went, the more I was thinking Cena.
I had no idea.
So
I had no idea.
You want to go through it?
Let's go through it. We'll go through it in order if you'd like.
All right. I've got a run sheet in front of me. If you don't.
And I'll say congratulations on the Lock of Destiny. I took a couple chances, and it didn't really pay off for me.
I think I took a couple chances too. We both took chances.
But I did call the Iconics. How about that?
You called the Iconics, and I think I took a couple. I didn't play it safe, I don't think.
No, you didn't play it safe, but I went against Roman Reigns, and that was not smart.
Hey, everyone on the post show agreed with you.
Did they?
You had a lot of people saying that Drew was going to win. I don't think that was an easy call either way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's get down to it. So let's start with the pre-show. Did you watch Nice and Murphy?
I did. I saw the whole. I saw every match in its entirety of the pre-show, but I got to skip a lot of the nonsense.
Oh, God, the nonsense.
Of course, we go. The week we decide it's always going to be Buddy Murphy.
Right, exactly.
Tony Nese wins.
Well,
good match, good kickoff.
And I'll tell you, it was all Nice that whole match.
Yeah, him and his abs.
After that, you had Carmella winning the Battle Royal.
Man, girl.
My choice didn't even make it to the ring.
She showed up later.
What the heck?
Showed up later.
I mean, what an awful choice.
Well, you went out on a limb for sure because you picked someone that wasn't in the match.
I was going to say, you're talking about playing it safe. That wasn't exactly. But once Asuka got eliminated, I started jumping for joy because I didn't want to go into the main show down.
Oh, right.
But so, all right. Well, we'll also say we both missed the Revival jobbing out to Ryder and Hawkins.
That would have been more of a moment for those guys if that match had any build whatsoever to it.
It was so weird. It was just crowbarred in at the last minute. And yeah, it had nothing.
Did the Revival piss somebody off?
Probably the guy who attacked Bret Hart.
Oh,
boy, am I a dash mark now or what?
I mean, he knocked that guy for a loop and he deserved it. I mean, what does that guy think? He's like, I'm going to go into an arena filled with wrestlers and disrespect and tackle one of the greatest of all time. This is going to be easy.
I got to tell you, it made me sad at first, but then watching everyone come together and knowing that Bret was okay. Because you know what really got me about that, Jer? The guy recently survived cancer. The guy recently overcame a stroke.
Stroke, yeah.
And what got me was he made this audible wail, when he realized he was being attacked, and it just felt so real to me. Like he was really scared. My hero, my childhood hero, did not know what was going on. He cried for a second, and go ahead.
He was in danger.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, Bret the Hitman Hart. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, and you and I could beat him up now if we wanted to. And it's sad to think of it that way. And so he was in real danger for that idiot, and I hope that guy got receipts the whole way out the door.
He did. I mean, we could tell he did.
Well, we saw one receipt, but I hope that they didn't stop there.
No, I don't think he had himself a good night. And, I mean, I've been learning more about this guy, and it seems like he's kind of off his rocker anyway. But man, watching everyone come together, it was a lot of the names that they had been talking about before, guys who were influenced by Bret, the Dash and Dawson and Edge, and, just watching those guys come together, and, Ronda's husband in there quickly. And it didn't, I mean, he didn't really have
enough time. New Day jumped in.
Man, it made me happy to see them. It reminded me of the fraternity of brothers that they are.
Yeah, the New Day wasted no time getting in.
Yeah, man, it's just so while it did hurt me to see Bret get hurt, in a way that I've never felt before. I don't know how to describe it. When I heard him yell when he was being taken down, it just made, and plus he's probably still a little uncomfortable with the WWE, and Shawn was getting inducted and Vince was right there, and just the whole thing. it affected me. I don't know how else to describe it except for it affected me.
Yeah, he just seems frail. And there was a moment, jumping ahead, I'm sorry, but on the main show of WrestleMania, when you see Sean go over to shake Brett's hand, but they cut away from that. You don't really get to see that, and you don't really get to, and you really don't get to see Brett's face. I wanted to see Brett's face when DX is running around like a bunch of idiots throwing glow sticks. I wanted to see what Brett.
Maybe you had the same reaction as me. I was hoping DX would be like funny, and they were trying so hard and missing with me left and right, man. I was annoyed by them.
Yeah, I mean, they did what they do on the WrestleMania show, but the Hall of Fame show, they were just annoying. And then, Triple H takes a couple shots at AEW, which, if you're the big guy, why do you even point out the little guy? It's so silly.
I was a big I'm not going to use the word mark again, but I was a huge fan of anything DX did. I just lapped it up, and I think that they're worthy, but man, when you get them all together, they are annoying AF.
They're annoying, and Road Dogg gets more annoying every time I see him.
Good God, man. And I don't know, do you think that like the one guy who's doing a show, X-Pac, might be able to put a sentence together, but no. No, not at all. So let's get back to Mania. We're on the kickoff show. We are now we get past the tag match, and Dash Wilder with his right hand, and then we're in the Battle Royal. And man, I thought you had called it with Colin Jost. I was ready with my phone to take a picture of Colin Jost when he won to share to the Facebook page that this is my crowning moment of predictions, that I have never been more proud, including all the Undertaker stuff from last year. This was my crowning moment as a predictor, but I was so close.
So people were like Braun Strowman, and I'm like, I think Andrade, and you said the dude from SNL, but the white dude, Colin Jost, he's going to win it.
I didn't even say one of the SNL guys. I said specifically Colin Jost.
Colin Jost. And he was standing there at the end.
To my credit, it played out exactly like I thought it would. It just wasn't the right winner.
Man, they couldn't have Braun lose to Colin Jost.
Not lose, but just like, I mean, you had him in the Battle Royal. He's already the loser.
He's a loser.
He's been. I mean, look at the way Braun's career has faded over the past year.
I know. I hope they build him back up. So now we're into the actual show, and one of the comments I'll make for the show overall, I don't know how you feel about it, but I enjoyed all of the special match announcers. I didn't particularly love them once they got into announcing, not all of them, but I liked how they were switching it up and putting a new special announcer on every once in a while. I like that
commentary?
A lot. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I would be cool with that, except for everyone was bad. I thought all the special guests were bad.
I thought JBL did a good job. I thought the King did a good job.
No, those are fine. I'm talking about the Shawn Michaelses and the Pages.
Shawn Michaels was particularly bad. Page was expectedly bad.
Yeah,
But I like seeing him. Booker T was fun for a minute. Like, I could do Booker T for a match. I can handle that.
Yeah,
I can handle. Sure. I can even handle Shawn Michaels for a match. Like, it's
okay. Fair enough. Sure.
That's what I kind of liked. I like the rotation of that. So the show starts, man. Whoo! Snap of a finger, and the Hulkster comes out.
The Hulkster meant nothing to me. But what did you think about Heyman after that?
This is what I mean by it all. Like, Hulk coming out just shows you, hey, anything can happen. We're starting it off hot. And then he does his stupid shtick, like his usual thing. And instead of going into a video package, just angry, steaming mad Paul Heyman. This was well written and well booked. If we're not last, we're first. We're getting on a jet. We're getting out of here. We're starting a match. Come on. And Brock comes out, and then, like, Seth Rollins is not prepared. You know, you've got that narrative now. I think it was great.
So Brock was another one that everyone was saying was going to win last night. And I felt like I was kind of taking the crazy choice with Rollins. Everyone had me second guessing myself all weekend.
Oh, see, I thought Brock was the crazy choice. I'd heard everyone thinks that, you know, it just made sense to give it to Rollins. But I was like, oh, God, they're never taking it off of Brock, are they? And I had this horrible revelation that morning that that's never gonna come off of Brock. And I've never wanted to be wrong as much in a prediction. I was so happy that you were right, that Seth Rollins won that match. Because now, goodbye, Brock, for a long time. You'll come back. That'll be great when you're back. It'll be awesome. But for now, like, I'm good. I'm good not having you there.
Hey, you know what? Can I point out 2 more things before we go on?
Sure. 2
big people conspicuous by their absence. Well, I can think of 3. There was no even mention of The Undertaker last night.
I know. I was shocked.
I was actually kind of happy with it, if you want me to be honest. Had he shown up and done something cool, great. But I don't need him crowbarred in every year. I don't like it.
Yeah. I was shocked, though.
There was no Kevin Owens.
I didn't even realize that.
Not even a mention. All weekend, I didn't see the guy. And the same could be said for Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose, I noticed.
Okay. So, I think we can all, I mean, did anyone not like that opening contest and the way it got started? I thought that was really well written.
Oh, my God. The kids were going crazy. They were supposed to go get a bath during the first match, and then the first match became that match. And I was like, hold up, Kelly. They're not getting a bath yet. Like, I thought it was going to be the tag match would start it off, or even the Falls Count Anywhere match. I didn't think it was going to be that one. Man, what a hot way to start. Great match.
And just a unique way to get it started. To come out swinging with a big match like that and, you know, have a title change. Just a really cool way to start.
Yeah, buckle up, pal. That's basically what they were saying with that match.
Yeah. That may have been. I'm trying to think of. I didn't even think about a match of the night last night. I don't have anything, but I was really happy with that match. That may have been it for me.
I love that match. I would give match of the night to Kofi and Daniel Bryan.
Okay, let's get to that. You might be right. Let's get to that.
Yeah.
What came next? I got the
Randy Orton and AJ Styles.
I thought that was okay too, to be honest with you.
Took a minute or two to get going, but they both did exactly what they needed to do. It was a good match. I don't know if it's the end of their deal or not. It was a clean finish, but it doesn't mean it's over.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I don't know where they're going looking forward for either one of those guys, but I thought that they did a fine job, you know.
I'm pulling it up now so I have an order so we know what the next match was.
Next match would be the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Oh, sure. That was just like, that's one of those matches you never catch your breath, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of action.
You know, I could have done without the Pyramid of Doom. Stupid. I hate those.
That was terrible. Ricochet rolls through it. As they're setting it up, I thought, this is Rob's favorite part of the match. Rob loves this stuff.
I was enjoying it up until then.
Yes,
you know?
it was a good match, but that's a very indie spot, right?
It just looks so fake.
Why don't you just grab him by the nuts and suplex him or whatever the hell they do?
I mean, it just drives me crazy. I don't like those. And I think the next match we're going into, we can probably kind of carry the same conversation over. I was really enjoying Miz and Shane. It felt really like different, but in an Attitude Era kind of way. It's I guess back in the Attitude Era, you used to see matches go throughout the building all the time. And I guess it's been a minute since I've seen a really good one of those. But Shane and Miz were giving that to me last night. I liked the tour of the building, especially for a Falls Count Anywhere match. But I did not like it all just built to the one thing we knew was going to happen, which looked, with the crash pads, it drove me crazy.
It looks great until they zoom in on the crash pads. Like, as they're going off, I'm like, oh my God, that looks so good until you have to zoom in on them on crash pads.
It just takes me out of it. It takes me so out of it.
And I know what I'm looking for. Can't they keep the camera off just for a second while the ref does this? Because everybody knows what this means now. Can we?
Oh, when they squeeze a hand?
Can I not see that every time? Can you not take me out of it?
That doesn't bother me as much. It's just, I would honestly rather, I mean, obviously I know you can't not gimmick it, but I'd rather just not even do it. Either jump.
I was okay with it. I'm okay with it. I like to see it, even if it is gimmicked.
Yeah, I'd rather not see it, I guess is where I'm at with that.
And I like seeing Miz, just furious Miz, like anger Miz. Shane McMahon is at his best when he's selling pain and he's getting hurt. When Shane McMahon is on offense, there are 3 moves or punches, and it's not great. So the Miz running most of the offense in that match, and Shane really carrying it with all the bumps he took. That one gets thrown onto the golf cart, and then he falls off like that. That wasn't planned. That hurt a lot. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good match. It was what it was supposed to be and what it was supposed to do.
I didn't like the finish, but I thought the match was good. It told a good story too with Mr. Miz.
Told a good story, and Shane now can keep saying he's best in the world. So that's going to continue for a little bit longer, I guess.
What's going on outside? I can tell there's something going on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of landscapers, and they're all smoking and scratching their nuts like right outside the window.
So that's got to be frustrating.
And I'm just like, oh my, whatever.
I just had someone.
They don't know.
I just had someone walking on me too, and it's like I got a red light on, but whatever.
Let's take a look at these guys.
Oh yeah, they're right there.
I mean, they're right there, and the one guy was in between the bush and the window a minute ago.
Oh,
like he was like looking at something and smoking, and that's what caught my eye.
Was he trying to get your attention, but nonchalantly?
No, he was not trying to do that. That's happened to me some mornings. Like the Culligan guy will pound on the window, and I'm like, jeez.
I know the guys. So
you're at least up a couple floors. If someone pounds on your window, man, they want in.
They deserve it at that point.
Yes.
All right. So where are we next?
Women's Tag Championships.
Didn't need it. And the one match with Brett, and I just didn't need it.
Yeah, and they did bring Brett out. I forgot about that. I did.
You know what? Here's a subtle thing I meant to mention too when we talked about the Hall of Fame. So Natty's theme song is like I'll call it a remixed version of Brett's song, which I like, but it's a little different than the one Brett used to come out to. And whenever we had seen Brett up through this past weekend, he would always just come out to Natty's music, which again, close enough, whatever, I get it. This weekend with the Hall of Fame and at WrestleMania, he used his old music, and that made me happy. Yeah,
when his old music hit, he came out, and
yeah,
I didn't know if he was. I don't know if he was going to come down to the match or not, and then I realized he's not going down to the ring.
I wonder if that was his decision to like not steal his niece's shine.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I bet you had he wanted to, he probably could have. I love that guy, and seeing him, week this weekend, it really reminded me that I just love the guy.
It was tough,
and just seeing everyone else with the outpouring of love for him, it's just like.
Have we gotten an explanation as to why that guy chose Bret Hart and why that guy did it?
No, why he did it was because women were main eventing, according to his social media, I think, or. According to things, but he wanted to make a message that women shouldn't be main eventing.
And so he went after Bret the Hitman Hart.
I don't think he singled out Bret. I just think he picked his moment.
I don't think anybody would have cared. I wonder if he'd have tackled Brutus, if anybody would have even gone into the ring.
It's just Conrad Thompson in there trying to help him out.
I would have loved it if he tried it on the Honky Tonk Man and took a guitar to the skull.
Hey, if Honky Tonk's not jobbing to Macho Man, I don't think he's going to job to this guy.
Honky Tonk would have done. He's like, I'm not losing to you.
So yeah, that made me happy, but that match just could have not happened, especially because it's the one match you got over me.
I love that. I love that. That was good.
By the way, dude, they're so hot because now they're not even like just holding pinkies. They're like straight up wrapping their arms, like they're like intertwining them. And did you see when one was hugging the other one at the waist?
Yeah, they were holding each other before the match started. I was like, oh, they're going to just start doing it.
Oh my God, man. Oh, they make me feel a certain way.
They do too. They do. And Becky helped at the end of the night with the nipple shirt.
She was excited for WrestleMania, pal.
And I was excited to see her.
We'll get to that. So what's after the women's tag match?
We've got the WWE Championship, and I loved everything about this. Everything. Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, New Day, the entrances coming down, the belt being there, the special gift, the match itself was incredible.
So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Feel free to disagree or agree, because we kind of started brushing on this in the predictions episode. You said when Daniel Bryan did this, it was a magic moment. We both agreed on that. One of the truly magical moments in wrestling. You said that, I forget how you worded it, but you implied that it wasn't going to be a magic moment for Kofi this week.
It's more manufactured. It's less organic.
I'm going to say, in my opinion, while it wasn't to the degree of Daniel Bryan's at WrestleMania 30, Kofi Kingston we had a magic moment when Kofi won last night.
I agree. And I can tell you that my body agrees wholeheartedly. I got goosebumps at the end of that match. When they're celebrating, I've never been given goosebumps before by merch, but when he opens the box and it's like, there's a new champ. Yes, there is. And they've got new shirts and the kids are there. And you can just see there's so much love in that ring. And it means so much. I know you're going to have people like the Vince Russos of the world that say that the belt is nothing but a prop, but it is also a huge symbol of success to these guys. It's what they strive for. Kofi Kingston, that was an amazing moment. It was really, really fun. And it made me feel emotional at the end of it, which is what it's supposed to do.
So a few things about this. For starters, this is what I actually named the video because I feel like it was the climax of WrestleMania. It probably wasn't designed to be. I think it was supposed to be Becky. Whatever happened, happened.
I think it could have been Becky. It could have been. It had that match not been botched.
But I went with, I think the one that people are going to be looking for. Kofi Kingston wins the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35.
And it was a good match to boot.
Sure was. And I will tell you this. I was no less than 100% certain that what was in that box was going to lead to a turn. I thought
Me too.
I was 100% certain. I was almost disappointed. But then again, I wasn't, because they got me. I thought for sure. I was trying to think, what could it possibly be in that box? But I know it's going to lead to Big E, maybe Xavier, but definitely Big E turning on Kofi. And I was thinking the whole match, what could it be? And then you're right. When it came out to be merch, it was just like, it was magic. And he got Kofi's kids throwing him to the crowd. Like, it was a great moment that I just really appreciated. I
stopped thinking it was going to be a turn the minute Kofi was holding his smallest child.
Yeah, when the kids came in, I even heard Big E tell one of them to open the box. That's when I realized, I was wrong.
Right. And I'm glad you were, because while it's probably the best for the story and a turn at some point coming will probably be a great for a story, I'm not ready. My heart's not ready. Like, there was a time where I was ready for them to break up, but right now my heart doesn't want it.
Dude, I'm with you. I don't know how that could have played out much better. I think that was a great job. And I really think that Daniel, I genuinely think he loves putting guys over that otherwise don't get those chances. I think. Well,
weren't you the one that told me he's the one that recommended having a match with Mustafa Ali?
He likes making careers, man, and I love that about him.
Oh, by the way, we're not allowed to call him Mustafa Ali anymore.
What do you mean?
They changed his name to Ali.
You're kidding me.
They dropped another name, pal. Andrade, Ali. That's it.
I want to be a new wrestler. I want to be called Muhammad Cien Almas.
Mustafa.
Oh, what did I say? Yeah. Well, that was unintentionally racist.
Hey, bring out Hulk Hogan again. Bring him out. Get Hulk Hogan out here.
So, so I think that, I mean, if someone disagrees with us on that point, please feel free to bring it up in the post show. I can't imagine anyone disagreeing with just that was a magical moment.
Best moment of the night, best match of the night. I really thought the match, wrestling-wise, was just amazing as well. It was really well done.
I don't think we had like a potential match of the year last night. Match of the night, I'd have to think of though. I wish I should have given that more thought prior to this.
Well, it definitely wasn't the next one. Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. That one ended in like 13 seconds.
I told you, don't bet on Rey Mysterio on pay-per-view. I thought we were supposed to see Dominic.
We were. I don't know what happened with that. I think Rey was hurt, and they just got out of that as fast as they could.
Oh, I didn't even think about that for an explanation as to why it was so short.
Yeah, so that might have been it. Then we're into Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. I like Drew's entrance. I like bringing out the New York City.
Me too. I'm more and more becoming a real Drew fan.
He seemed like a superstar last night, like a real superstar.
Something over the past month, he's really gotten me over the hurdle with him.
And they're going to need him because he's the heel that's going to carry Raw for a little while. He's one of the two top villains on Raw right now, I think.
Yeah, there was one Raw where I just came in singing his praises, and that's when I realized that, like, this guy's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been converted. I won't say like I've ever said bad things about him, but I'll just say it took me some time to warm up to him, kind of like Samoa Joe, kind of like a lot of those guys I wasn't too informed about. He's just so good. He looks like a monster, man.
Yeah.
And he looks like a heel, and I think that he really should be the standout heel on Raw.
I think he's going to be, depending on who knows what happens. I mean, tonight's the Raw after Mania, so anything can happen.
Oh, I didn't even think about that either.
No, tonight and tomorrow night, anything can happen. So who knows who's coming? But right now he's the top heel on Raw, with Baron Corbin being the secondary villain. Like, because I'm telling you, after last night, Baron Corbin is a villain on Raw, and like you thought he was getting booed before.
I was really kicking myself, Jer. Is that match next? Angle and Baron?
It's not. Actually, next is the Doctor of Thugonomics, but we've already talked about how much we love that.
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and skip to Angle then.
Well, after that is the no holds barred Triple H and Batista, but I feel like we discussed that as well.
No, I feel like we didn't. But let me just cut the line and go to Angle real quick.
Okay, Angle and Corbin.
I was really kicking myself because it's exactly what I said was going to happen weeks ago. But for some reason on predictions day, I 180'd. It's exactly what I said. You said who's going to be Kurt Angle's last match. Everyone was saying Cena, and I was like, it's going to be Baron Corbin because he's going to go out on his back and someone's going to get put over. It's exactly what I said was going to happen. That right after they revealed Mania would be his last match. Do you remember this?
But we talked you out of it.
I just talked myself out of it. And I'm glad I still won the Lock of Destiny. I think if you would have caught me any other day, I would have said that Baron Corbin was going to win. I don't know why I said Angle.
I didn't even think that match was going to actually happen.
Yeah.
I was shocked that it happened. I was shocked that Angle lost. I was shocked that Baron Corbin won, and that's how we're sending Kurt Angle out. It just felt like not as big a deal as it should have. I feel like that should have been a bigger moment.
Agreed. But
it wasn't. It was what it was. Angle's return to the ring in the WWE, a failed experiment, but I soaked it in because I knew it really was the last time I'm seeing this guy wrestle. And I don't remember the last time I saw Bret Hart wrestle, and I don't remember the last time I saw a lot of these guys that I really love wrestle get in the ring and do it, because I just always assume they're going to come back, even though they say they're not going to. And this is it for him. This is for real it.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for. I think you're right.
Yeah. So
thank you, Kurt.
Thank you, Kurt. I loved the sign that said "You never sucked." I mean, I thought it was perfect. It makes me sad to even think about it. You never sucked.
We all know. We all know he never sucked. What a great career the guy's had.
I mean, unbelievable.
So Thugonomics, I think we talked about that, but let's get to Batista and Triple H. I'm surprised that you're not singing this match's praises. I loved it.
I loved it, but I thought it went a little long. I loved it from the minute that Batista starts falling into the ring.
I'll be honest, I missed that live, but I caught the meme and shared that into the Facebook group.
Loved it. I thought it was great. You know, part of me knew right away that even though we called it, I also knew right away Triple H was not going to lose this match and never have a match again at WrestleMania because the entrance wasn't as grand as it would be if it were his last time.
I'm a little annoyed at the Triple H entrances.
They're unbelievable.
I mean, they've become.
I thought this one was cheesy. I didn't like this one at all.
It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I guess I don't want to expect them. I don't know how else to put it.
It was a poorly animated Mad Max video, and then he comes out in like a Rob Zombie car driven by a real zombie looking thing. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Get to the match. I thought it was brutal. Chains and stairs, and those tables weren't breaking. I've never seen an announce table not break.
I thought it was actually a Batista. That was a cool match for him to go out on.
I thought it was a great way for him to go goodbyes. It was very good. A little long. I thought it was a little long.
I see a lot of people making fun of the nose ring.
Yeah.
And I get it, but I also thought it was cool. I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, it didn't look real. Yes, there wasn't enough blood. And then Triple H even chewed on the skin. Man, that was cool. I thought that was cool. I thought a lot of the toys were cool. I thought the working over the fingers was cool. The only thing I don't like is the same thing I've never liked is the sledgehammer, because they always cover them up.
They cover the end of the sledgehammer, and they don't swing a sledgehammer the way you're supposed to swing a sledgehammer, which is like this.
Yeah, the sledgehammer is the worst, but the stuff with the fingers, I kind of dug. The nose ring, all the tables. I was into that match. I got to be honest. I liked it way more than I was expecting to.
Yeah, it was very good. I thought it was needlessly long, but I liked it.
Honestly, Jer, that may have been my favorite match last night.
Hey, I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, I'm being honest. I thought it was pretty good.
Good for you. Awesome. Well, then we go into Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin. We did that. And now, I mean, at this point, I'm looking at the clock and I'm going, I am so sick of anything else that comes out. Anything. And we're doing dance breaks. What are we doing? And then the Intercontinental Championship match with Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley.
I forgot it was going to happen.
I knew it was coming because I was going through our sheet. I was trying to see how many more matches do we have here? It was like when I'm at one of my daughter's dance recitals. And she's done now on the stage, and I'm counting the acts until we're out of here. I'm like, all right, we've got 8 songs. All right, where are we now?
Because you're not supposed to leave, right?
You can't leave. You can't. So I'm like, oh, darn it. We're 3 songs away.
Is it like a real rule or just like an unwritten rule that you can't leave?
I mean, you don't get up and you walk out in the middle of a performance. You wouldn't want people walking out, and while my daughter's on stage, you don't let them have an empty house at the end of the show. It's etiquette.
So it's unwritten. They don't tell you that, but you just know it.
If you're gonna skate, you skate at intermission. If you're gonna skate, you skate at intermission. But Allie has a song in intermission, I'm like, well, here we are, second act. She's the first song in the second act, and now we're counting acts. And the same thing was last night with those matches. I was counting matches, and so I knew this was coming. And I thought the Demon entrance was interesting because they started them with the up high deal.
I'm sorry, say this again.
They had him up high for once. Usually he crawls real low, but
Finn. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Bobby Lashley sucks. It's so boring.
So I felt like that match wasn't that long. Am I forgetting? Was I dozing or what? I don't remember that being painfully long.
It wasn't painfully long. It was just painfully there.
Okay. I feel like it may have been a little bit of a waste of a Demon, but what do I know?
It was a waste of a Demon. They could have used it. Yeah, it was. It sure was. I like how the Demon shows up for an Intercontinental Championship match against Bobby Lashley, but didn't think to bring the Demon out when he took on Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
You might need him there.
Yeah, no, that's a great call.
I'd have brought a gun to the fight with Brock Lesnar. Anything I can. triple threat winner take all match. I mean, the entrances were great. I thought it was a little weird. Charlotte gets the helicopter Ric Flair entrance. Ronda gets Joan Jett and the Blackhearts playing her down live. And Becky Lynch just comes out like Becky Lynch with her nipples blazing.
She should have used them in their finish.
She looked super good, too.
It's weird. I never thought she was good looking up until like the past month or so.
She was looking great last night. And when her hair was all crazy and she looked crazy at the end, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm into crazy redhead. Holy smokes.
So, like I said, I haven't checked any news sites today. I intended to, but I'll get to it tonight. I feel like, just like I said, without any outside influence, that was a botch.
It seemed botched. I'm looking quickly here. USA Today reports fans aren't impressed with botched ending, the historic main event.
I feel like you got to blame the ref.
I mean, I'm interested to see how that goes. Like, I wish you could see that. That's what I want on the network. Yeah, I want to see the conversation they have with the ref.
When he gets back to Gorilla?
Yeah, because they weren't happy with him.
Well, I think he screwed it up. I know that they're supposed to... hold on. Let me see what I got here.
Although Vince is not above coming out and being like, this isn't right, and doing it over.
Yeah, but that still was the right ending.
He could have interfered.
All right, hold on a second. Give me 1 second here. Why I didn't click on this article. I clicked on a different one.
Because that would have actually furthered the story along a little more. If they really didn't want it, Vince could come out and say, no.
Here's what I got from 411.
Okay.
As you probably noticed, the ending to the Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair WrestleMania 35 main event seemed a bit off. Tom Callahue of PW Torch and Fansided reports that Rousey was supposed to kick out of what ended up being the finish of the match, which saw her pinned following Rousey going for the Piper's Pit, which Lynch countered into a crucifix pin. It's in my opinion that she did kick out. I'll keep going. Rousey's shoulders were not on the mat during the pin. Following what was apparently supposed to be a kick out there, the match was supposed to go on a bit longer and end with Charlotte tapping out to Lynch, which you mentioned. Sean Sapp of Fightful also tweeted that the finish didn't go off as planned and that Rousey wasn't happy with how the match ended, apparently because it made her look bad. So, and then there's just a bunch of tweets about how the finish got screwed up. And I'm not the guy that would usually put the blame on the ref, but sure, her shoulders were up. I don't know what he was thinking.
See, I didn't think her shoulders were up, so I was totally prepared to double barrel on Ronda today. And now I've got to go back and I've got to check because I'm not going to blame Ronda if it's the ref's fault.
Trust me on this one. Trust me on this one.
I will. But I'm going to watch it again today anyways. Kids are going to want to see it. But
yeah, look for that.
I'm going to look for the shoulders. It's not how it was supposed to end. It was a little weak, but it was still nice seeing Becky have 2 championships, and I'm interested to see what they do with her tonight.
I mean, but now you can't call Charlotte undefeated. I'm sorry, Ronda, or she.
Yeah, Ronda's never been pinned before, and she was pinned last night.
So, all right, guys.
On a crucifix roll up.
Yeah, with no hype. It's the first women's main event, and referee Sexy Boy just wants to get out of there. He says, I'm not getting paid by the hour.
He's like, I was checking AccuWeather. It's supposed to rain at 1. I'm getting out of here.
All right. So what do you guys think of our take? Because Jerry and I seemed pretty in line on this one, which we don't always. We gave it a B. Do you think that that's fair? Should we give it more? Should we give it less? Did you think that the ending got screwed up, or is it just us? I'm sure it's not just us, but leave us some feedback, man, because we love talking to you guys about everything that went on this weekend. It was a crazy weekend. We didn't even get a chance to talk about NXT, but we'll do that some other time. Sure. Anything else you need to mention, Jer, or are we good to...
We're good. I hate that guy that tackled Bret Hart. Hate him.
I'd love to get a few good shots on him.
Give him the old Tash Wilder right hand.
All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with a recap of the Raw after WrestleMania. Until then, enjoy Raw. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
This podcast should have ended with a crucifix.